Hello everyone. Tonight I'm continuing cooking. This is a overnight dish because it takes a long time for it to cook. Is barbacoa. Now barbacoa here is made different than in other parts of the world. Barbacoa started off in the Caribbean, and that's how we got the word barbecue. And most of the time they use beef. Well, this is made with beef, but the section that they of the beef is usually chuck roast. Now, I do it a little different than other people in that, well, I do it the Mexican way. The Mexican uses the cheek meat from the cow. Now, the cheek meat is very fatty, but this will melt off the fat because of the cooking process. Now what we do is I start with now this is 7 pounds of the cheek meat, and a lot of it's fat. Probably about a third is going to be fat. Now I start off with 2 cups of water. I put that in the bottom of a pot. I use I think this is 8-quart pot, and I'm going to add in a teaspoon and a half of cumin. Now be careful with cumin, it's very powerful. So put that in. 4 cloves of garlic. Put that in. Now what I'm going to do, now how this varies from the way that other people cook it, and I find that this is the best way to cook it, is they start off the same way, but what they do is they wrap each individual one in foil. What we found out through our process is that when you cook it in the foil, what happens is the foil sticks to the meat, because it's almost, we call it meat candy, because it has that caramelization and everything in the meat, and it's very hard to get the foil off. This comes out just as good, and this is the way we do it. Alright, this is my way of doing it. Now, I'm using kosher salt. We salt it down. Pepper, black pepper, both sides. So that's the first one. Now this one's a little bit thick. I'm going to cut this here. And this is very thick. I'm going to cut this right here to make it thinner. You can tell by the marbling here of the fat. Okay. If a piece is too thick, cut it down. This was a little too thick. Now we have it all in the pot, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the oven. Now I already preheated the oven to 220 degrees. This is low and slow cooking. You know, you don't have to be in a rush. Matter of fact, I may reduce it a little bit more, because it should cook for about 7 hours in the oven. 7 hours over. That's why we do it overnight, because you don't have Now, I do advise you, I have an electric oven. If you have a gas oven, it's better that you don't sleep with your oven on. You have to monitor. I don't advise anyone, I know from experience that I'm doing this, but I'm warning you, this is for entertainment only, this video. Leaving an oven on overnight, especially if it's a gas oven, can be very dangerous. So if you're gonna do with gas, do it during the daytime and monitor it. This traditionally has been served on Sundays because it takes such a long time to cook that the people only do it once a week. Now you can go to the stores around here, they have barbacoa every day of the week, but a lot of family operated places still only serve it on weekends only. So we're gonna put this in the oven, and put it in there, close it. I put a lid on, 200 degrees. It's almost 10 o'clock at night, and I'll see you tomorrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy some tortillas, and I'm going to cut up some onion, cilantro, the lime, and everything so you can see. So we're back, everyone. It's the next day. Now, I was in no rush. I cooked it a lot longer, for about 10 hours. I cooked it in the oven. Now, if anyone knows about cooking and they've heard of duck confit, okay, it's a French dish where they cook duck, but they cook it in fat. Now, you saw how much fat was on this meat. And there was only a little bit of water in the bottom of the pot when I started off. Now, we'll take a look at it. And okay, now take a look at this. That's mostly all fat. Okay, there was very little liquid in here yesterday. I didn't add anything to it, and this is what happens when you cook it down. All the fat renders out. So a lot of people may get turned off by this, that there's so much fat. I'm sorry, we had a little technical difficulty. Anyway, what we're going to do is we have to chop this up, but first we're going to strain off a piece. And what we're going to do is now this is very tender. It falls apart. I'm not going to take out everything, but you can see this. It's almost like a pot roast. And remember all that fat that was on there? Look, there's hardly anything left of the fat. I mean, there's some still on there, but what we'll do is we'll divide that out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool down a little bit so I can put it on a chopping board and chop it. And then we'll show you the next step. Because what you do is to serve this in the tacos is you chop it up. Now, there's different styles of this. There's what's called Barbacoa Mexicana, and that's made with cooked onion and bell peppers that are cooked, and it's mixed in with everything. Now I'll go through this later, and that's how it looks. Now what we do, I'll be chopping that up, and what we're going to serve it with is we have here. I diced up some tomatoes. I did cucumbers, diced it up fine. Onion. I made bell pepper, and I cut that up 3 different colors to give it some color. Lime, cilantro, and we're using corn tortillas now, and also crema mexicana. Okay, people add this in, especially to like a fish taco. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll chop that up, and I heated up the corn tortillas. Now, with corn tortillas, there's a controversy. People say that they like the wheat tortillas better, and I think that the corn has more flavor, but it's a class issue. Wheat tortillas are more expensive. They show a higher, that people can afford it more in Mexico. We're back. I chopped up all the meat. You can see how it is. You chop it up, and what we do next is I'm going to make a taco. Oh. Okay. Now I take a tortilla that I have warmed up, and you put it on. You get a spoon here. I'm going to put some tomatoes, cucumber, onion, some bell pepper, cilantro, now one thing I didn't buy, I forgot to buy it, was I forgot to buy the Mexican cheese that goes on the queso fresco. I didn't buy that. Now you can put this on. I'm gonna put some of this on. You know what, I'm not gonna put this on because it wasn't sealed. I don't know if this, I didn't open this up at the store, but the seal was broken and it's not worth it. Anyway, I'll put some lime on there. And I'm gonna have mine with a little hot sauce. Now, here we go. Here we go. Very good. Try it out at home. Very easy to make. I don't know if you can get the cheek meat in where you live in this world, but you can substitute a chuck roast beef and do the same thing with chuck roast. The only thing is the chuck roast doesn't have as much fat as this. Now you may want to buy like lard and add in lard, and then you can cook it in lard. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Please click like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Have a good day, everyone.